Imagine if we would believe what God said in Amos 5, and that is, you don't need everybody, but if you can get a remnant, a strong remnant of people, every progressive thing that we hold dear, from women's rights to labor rights to civil rights, did not happen because the majority stood up, but they happened because a remnant stood up and changed the way the majority thinks.
Rev Dr William Barber is the co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign. The group held a hearing in Richmond recently at the Unitarian Universalist Church. I got an exclusive interview with Barber about the campaign.
The Poor People's Campaign is about addressing the issues that impact 140 million people in this country: systemic poverty, systemic racism, ecological devastation, health devastation, and the military-industrial complex. And this moral analysis, where we have moral leaders talking more about prayer in the schools and about attacking gay people and dismissing immigrants than we have them dealing with the real issues of poverty and systemic racism, voter suppression, things of that nature.
According to Barber, it only takes a small group of committed people to make a change.
Every social movement in this country has been where a few have made it better for the many. The Bible talks about a few, a remnant that stands up and cries and calls attention to. We never have change until there's first a calling of attention to. And so that's what we're trying to do, call attention to the issue, but not us doing it paternalistically. The poor and impacted people saying, listen, we're here, we're not going to be ignored. We are the remnant that literally can save this country.
Barber says more than 40% of U.S. citizens, including African Americans, Caucasians, Latinos, Asians, Native Americans, and other nationalities, are poor. He says it will take all of those living in poverty, as well as those more fortunate, coming together to get laws and policies changed. That's what happened during the civil rights movement.
Actually, before then, one of the things we talk about in the movement is how even in the 1800s, people came together right after slavery. It's called fusion politics. Right here in Virginia, right after slavery, blacks and whites controlled the state legislature in North Carolina. A lot of people don't know that. Many of the southern states were majority black.
Barber says it is divisiveness that causes people to lose sight of moving forward together.
People have always come together. We've seen it. The problem is we've always had forces of division and diversion that have turned people against each other. And Dr. King talked about this pitting of one people against another. We are in a situation where that we're saying we don't have to be pitted. If you're black and you're poor, if you're white and you're poor, if you're brown and you're poor, if you're Asian and you're poor, you're gay and you're poor, you're native and you're poor, if you're any Jew, Christian, Muslim, or non-faith and you're poor, can't pay your light bill, you're all black in the dark. If you can't feed your baby, they don't growl white, black, or religious, or Jewish or Christian. They growl hunger. They growl pain. So we need to be unified together as we stand against the forces.
According to him, America already has the funds to end hunger and poverty.
It's not that we can't have this change. We are told we don't have the money, but we put billions and billions and billions of dollars in war that we don't need to put in war. We give trillions of dollars of tax cuts to the wealthy and the greedy, when in fact if we invested that money in uplift for the poor and the least of these, the whole society would be lifted up. We always talk about the cost of fixing inequality, but we don't talk about the fundamental question: what is the cost of inequality? The cost of inequality itself.
I will have more on Barber in a story about the Poor People's hearing in Richmond coming up. In Richmond, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.